Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I can easily understand what is Western riding, English riding, and the difference between horses and their trainings.
Yes, and also like the posture you have when you are on the horse is different. Because yes, how you sit on the horse is different, and also the way that your body communicates with the horse is different between the two types of riding.
You know, there are how to say, when you're riding in English mode, so classical mode,
Okay.
you communicate with the horse with your legs and with your hands through the mouth of the horse.
Yes.
Instead, in American riding, you communicate a lot with your feet. And that's it, because
yes, like you don't use
your hands. Use your hands.
It's very gentle. Your hand has to be very, very gentle when you're horse in Western riding. It's it's nearly like it's not there. You really don't use it.
I think that in Western riding, you take more scores if you use less hands.
Yes.
So less you use your hand, more higher you use your score.
Like
so this is the level that they don't use their hand.
Okay.
And then there is also the difference that the way you wear, the clothes that you wear when you ride.
Yes.
Because it is two different worlds. Like in American, in Western, you use jeans and boots, cowboys boots.
Yes.
And they are, or the one of our longs.
Yes, also,
animal skin.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how to say it.
Natural skins of the animals made the boot.
Yes, but also with the trousers. Also the trousers are made of...
no, they have like some, it's not like the trousers, it's something they put on top of the trousers.
Yeah. Jeans on the top of the jeans.
Yes, because it has
the cover look different.
Yes, because it has to make like more, come si dice attrito?
Friction.
More friction. With the horse and with the saddle. Instead, in all the classical riding, it has to be very light. You have to be able to move a lot, and it's lighter.
Also, all the wearings, all the clothes of the classical are tighter.
Yes.
And last sentence you said classical.
That clothes of the classical are tighter, like they are.
It has like a very different style. It's tighter. It's
that we saw in the in American in Olympic sports.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the use of foot is less important in English riding.
No, the difference is that in English is more complete. Like you use all the parts. You use leg,
all the parts of your body.
Feet, hands. Your body posture also is really important. Instead, in American, you use the feet.
And the posture.
And the posture also, but not the legs, the inner legs, the hands, not that part.
Okay.
Like there was a question before that said if we had ever tried or if we know the difference, like when you go from Western to classical or to classical to Western. I have never tried.
I have tried.
But it's very if you are used to one kind of riding, or Western or classical, it's very difficult to change. Because for all the things we said before, it's very different also with your body. So if you're very used to one kind of riding, it's very difficult to be able to change
Like in your life, you must choose on profession.
No, you can,
like that?
You can choose,
both.
but it is really difficult to have a high level
In both.
one. In both of them, you have, well, in the end you have to choose if you want to reach a high level.
Both of the two, you are English rider.
Yes.
Yes,
Short
I've
jumping.
tried Western riding 3 times in my life, but in the end I ended up show jumping.
They are more difficult. Why you give up that?
I wouldn't say it's more difficult.
It's different.
It's really
Different.
Okay. It's
Yes.
different, but I have to say that I think it's more difficult show jumping and riskier.
Yes.
You risk a lot
Oh.
more than than Western. A lot more. Part of the game, I say.
Yes, definitely.
Different. You already said that what is the difference of gesture and posture between English and
Yes.
classical riding. As you were classical rider, so I will ask you to how much time you people take to learn the classical riding.
To learn from like zero.
Yes.
I think it depends on the level we are talking about. Like if you want to know how to ride in base level, so you know how to
Stay on top of
stay
the
on
horse.
and do all the basic movements.
Yes.
Basic movements as well, I say. I think that 6 months a year.
6 months.
Like 6 or 8 months, I think. Instead, if you want to reach not a really high level, but a good level where you
A good
maybe
level.
if you want to jump something not really high or something like that, in a good way, so you don't what is that fastidio? Well, in a good level of jumping, not high, medium level, I say that like 2 or 3 years, I think that's equal.
Mhm.
Then my question is, this 6 or 8 months you
Mhm.
took training for a day every week?
Maybe twice a week.
Twice or 3 times, yes, I think it's right.
And how many hours?
An hour,
When you
an
have a
hour,
riding lesson, normally riding lessons take 1 hour.
so it is like
It would
3
be 2
3
hours a
3
week.
hours a week.
There are 3 hours. Then 3 into 1 into 8 into 4. Huge time.
But anyway, like it depends also, there are many factors, like if you are somebody that has horse riding, maybe you are not more used to, but but you have a better attitude to this kind of sport, maybe you can learn faster.
If you are passionate, you will be learn.
Not passionate, but
Well,
like
also passionate,
but
predisposed.
I'm not
If you
sure.
are, if
Like-
it is more natural for you.
Yes.
Natural.
Yeah,
Yes.
if it is in.
Like for some people go horse riding for years, but they always have the same level, and some people in 2 years become show jumpers. So it's very different from person to person.
It is how,
The 6-8
how you
months.
approach to the
Yes.
how you approach to the sport, how fast you can learn. It depends on.
Oh,
It's different from person to person.
it is like that. If you try to learn music,
Yeah, it's the same.
Yes.
Yes.
oh, it's the more you have some basic skill, and you also need some skills from the God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or nature?
But not, it's not.
It doesn't come natural because it is not something that is really common in the society to ride a horse. So it doesn't come natural. But if you have a good teacher, if you are good at the sport, if
Also, if the horse is good.
if the horse is the right one for you, because I don't know if you ever seen Avatar the movie.
Avatar?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. Me too.
And
a lot of times.
Yes.
That's the perfect thing to understand. Do you remember when they tried to ride not the horses but the birds? You have to choose the right one, and he has to choose you. This is like the same thing with the horse.
It's related to the heroism, like manly things.
Men?
How you feel
Yeah.
little bit
You have to feel
uncomfortable
it,
in my house.
No, absolutely.
I want to tell about that. It is not womanly things. It's like more manly.
No, it is not.
I didn't.
Like there are more men than women.
Some women like to cook.
Oh no,
some
you see.
men like to do outer
No,
works.
No.
What is the thing? The horse, the training, the right horse. That you have some natural things.
Yes, also.
The
Like
training.
it's in your blood. There are people that are good because it's in your blood that you are good in this. She is good in I don't know. Cazzo
How you discover you are you like to you will explore yourself in horse riding?
But it's not like something. It's like you know that you are good because you learn faster.
Okay.
Because like 6 to 8 months. Because normally, like when you approach to classical riding, you have like the first 2, 3, 4 months maybe that you get to know what to do when you're sitting on the horse and the horse like walks or the horse gallops or trots. And you
Gallops, I didn't understand the
gallops.
Okay.
It's like the way to say that like the horse walks. Then there are other 2 ways. There are 2 ways that he runs. Like trotting is.
like for us running.
Yes.
And then galloping.
Galloping, it's more runs. It's faster and it's has more power.
If you look it on
Like
the web, you immediately understand the difference because you see it.
Like we would say, like if you go for a walk, you are walking. If you like jog, you are running, but you are running easy. You are just like taking time. If you run that you have to run, you are going.
Okay.
And then there are 3 ways that horses move. Like the first month you have to understand how to move with the horse when he uses these 3 different types of moving.
Yes.
I think that the first month is like walking and trotting.
Yes.
Galloping is not that level. Then second, third month you understand how to gallop.
Yes.
And then you have to understand all the different levels of trotting, walking and galloping, because it is trotting slowly, trotting fast,
Okay.
and trotting normal. Then there's galloping slowly, galloping fast,
Okay.
and galloping normal. It is full of
But the
different
basic
ways.
would be in the first 6 or 8 months.
Yes.
Then you begin to learn like you have to be more precise. You are more good looking when you're sitting.
Yeah.
You get to know like
Feel
how
confident with the
Yes.
horse.
Yes. So the basic level will be like you know how to be on the horse.
Okay.
But for some people it's easier. Other people take more time.
Okay.
So it's very different from person to person.
Person. You already answered the question number 5 and number 6. What are the basic movements you learn in Western riding? You are not Western rider. What do you consist of? No, you are not. Do you know the history of Western riding? No, it is not for you. I don't think there is a culture related. Already answered this according to Sophie. Oh, this may be you answer. It's 9. You people doing horse riding for your personal
Pleasure?
yes.
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 Like when I began I was 12 years old. So
Only 12 years old.
yes. So like it was.
I was 11.
And you do it as a sport, as an hobby.
Your hobby.
Yes. So like in your free time.
And
We
then it
both
becomes the
and then
problem.
it becomes all your time. And then we both began show jumping. So being at shows, and when you go at the shows, you have to be competitive. So it's not
You
like
do shows?
yes.
Oh, I'm so lucky.
So like it's competitive, and you have to win.
You have to win.
With the others. It's not like racing horses. We don't
Yes.
do racing horses.
You jump.
We jump. It's different. So like you can do it as pleasure, or when you begin doing shows, it can become your work. So it can become your job. But for us, it is
Yes.
a hobby, like a sport you do in your free time.
Well, all of your free time. I want to say it clearly. It takes all of your free time. Because when you own a horse, it takes no
A lot
vacation.
of time.
There are no Sundays, there are no Saturdays. You're there like a couple
Every
of
day.
hours a day, every day.
That means you do the work every day, horse riding?
Yes.
You too?
Yeah.
Now, no. But
Now,
like
now less
now,
because she
I-
works and I study. So we have less time, so we have to reduce a lot of our time with the
but
horse.
normally when you have your own horse, you would go every day,
Mhm.
or have somebody check
take
your
care.
horse, take care of your horse every day.
That means the horse also need training every day and
Yeah.
you
Yes.
also...
Maybe he can have like a free day, but it is very important, even if it is a free day, it doesn't have training, but the horse needs to move. He needs to be taken out of his box, he needs to have at least a walk, just to move and to distract himself.
You were the trainer?
No.
We were not. We are definitely not able to be the trainer.
No, we are students.
Yeah, we had our trainer.
We had the same trainer.
Yeah.
Okay. Almost every day.
Yes.
Yes.
Connecting the relationship between horse and the rider in Western riding, do you find a difference from maintaining classical riding? Do you think what is the most important? You already told you that what's the difference between Western riding and the competition and Western riding in laser. It is not your related question. Does the practice of Western riding is very from one country to another instead of the classical riding? It's related. Another thing I have to, do you think in your country, or if your generation and the next generation people are usually come and trained the classical riding?
You're asking.
It's a common issue, or it's goes down or goes up?
I see. I don't really know. Because I think that horse riding it has always been a small amount of people that ride
Yes.
horse, and I think that I think that high level horse riding, shoulder jumping are going to be less.
Yes.
But horse riding at a base level are going to be more.
But that is also like here as a country, like in Italy it's very popular football. Everybody plays football, everybody knows football, everybody watches football on TV. Horse riding is a very uncommon sport in Italy. But like if you go in Germany, or Holland.
Holland is, I think, one of the main sports.
Like it's one of the main country sports. Like everybody goes horse riding. Everybody has a horse at home and they go horse riding.
In Ireland, everybody has
also
a horse.
Also in Ireland.
Like here is like an elite sport.
Yes.
And abroad, here in Italy. In Italy is an elite sport.
Because it's very, it's an unpopular,
elite means that only few people.
Exactly.
You told elite people.
Yeah.
Yes.
The higher class of people only related with the horse.
Not really, but like it's a very expensive sport. So if you want to go on and high level, you have to spend a lot of money. So it's not
in a base level, it's expensive, but not.
It's not so expensive. If you begin like going to higher levels, and you have to
own a horse, own a saddle,
and maintain your horse.
Maintain your own horse. That like 600 euros a month. To buy a good medium horse, like 25-30,000 euros
per month.
Medium.
600 euros. Euros for maintaining.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maintaining, and the cost.
Like if you want to buy
a good medium
horse as a hobby, not like as a
job, not
as a job, you would spend like 25 or 30,000 euros.
Oh my God!
And if you wanted to take the big classes like Grand Prix, maybe you're doing like a hobby but a high level, so you are competing with people that is job.
That are also professionals.
Yeah, you have to spend like from 100,000 euros onwards. Also, there was a horse, quella di come si chiama quella della Vinci?
Horses so expensive.
Fit for Fun. Fit for Fun is a great horse that is not competing anymore.
Fit for Fun.
Fit for fun. It's the name of this horse.
And is a great show jumper.
Okay.
And the Arabians that has a lot of money.
Arabian horse.
No, the Arabian people.
Arabian people.
Tried to buy it, and offered, I think, like $30 million.
But like these are very high level. These are like the people that participate to the Olympics.
Yeah, and
their horses cost millions.
But the owner said no. She didn't sell for 30 million. Too less. So it's expensive.
It's expensive here, and that is why few people can afford it. In some places, like in Germany, in Ireland, there is more space, there are more countryside, and people have. It's more common to have a horse, so they cost less at a basic level. Once you get like a medium or professional level, in Europe, the cost is maybe the same.
Maybe you can find a bit less in the north of Europe, like Holland, Denmark, but you don't get too far from this price.
But this would be for classical riding.
Yeah.
Western riding is less expensive.
And I think the horse is also less expensive.
Yeah. All the Western riding is
a less expensive kind of world.
It's recorded.
Yeah, it's a recording.
That's the practice of Western riding very from one country to another. Yes, it is also in classical riding. Could you name some notable difference? You already told me that about what do you think the critical options that consider Western riding and violent and not very respectful to. Well, what do you think of a critical opinion? That is that consider Western riding as violent and not very respectful to the horse. Already told me, but you have to told again.
But it's not that Western riding is.
First, do you agree with that? Do you agree with that?
No, in some ways, you have some kind of not tools, but how you would call it, la testiera. When you go horse riding, the horse has some kind of thing in his mouth. Okay, so like the ones for Western riding are much stronger. Since your hand has to be very gentle to be good, they tend to use very strong instruments in the mouth of the horse, not instruments, like the thing they have in the mouth, it's very strong, so that they are gentle and the horse understands and feels always what happens. Like even if you just do like that, the horse feels it. So it's much, they are, it's not, but I wouldn't say...
It's like a little bit brutal attitude to...
Not brutal, but it's a different, it's their kind of cultural sport. Like they have to be gentle with the hands, so the horses are used in this way. Like they have stronger bits in their mouth. Or since they use mostly their feet, like there are some kind of tools you use on your boots, and I don't know what they are called in English. But and for Western riding, they are much sharper. Like you put on your boots, at the back of your boots, you have these things in metal. Yes. And for that also the cowboys have in the movies. And for Western riding, they are sharp because also the horse.
And the cowboy pinch them with the.
Yes, because that is a way to communicate with the horse. But Western riding needs the horse to be very reactive. So as soon as the horse has to understand instantly what he has to do.
He has to do.
Okay. It's different in classical riding. The bits are much lighter, and
they are really gentle.
And these things sharp are forbidden. Like we can't use them.
You can't use them in your boots.
Okay. They are forbidden. Like you can use small ones, but that are not sharp.
They are called drop because it is like the form, the shape is a drop. Mm-hmm. So it's gentle
with the horse
because it isn't sharp. It is like only a way that because if I push her like that or I push her like that, she feels more like different. That.
Oh, this is the difference.
Yeah, it's the difference. But it doesn't hurt. It is all that you feel more.
Okay.
So, but also classical riding has some things that from the outside could be seen as brutal. Like? So, like we have, how do you call it?
The sticks?
Yes.
Yeah, the stick.
In classical riding you have the sticks. And
well,
like
you don't have to have it. You can choose to have it, but we don't use it like
a punishment.
No,
it's not a punishment.
It's the communication. It's media of communication.
Like you have to, like our trainer taught us how to use it in the correct way.
Okay.
like as a way to keep your horse very careful and focus on what you are asking.
From the horse.
Yes,
Yeah.
but we don't not use it as a punishment for the horse. There are some people that use it as a punishment for the horse.
For English riding.
Yes.
It is really, really right to say that all these things, the thing in the mouth, the thing on the boot, the stick, they can be used as a punishment, and there are some people that use it as a punishment, but these people, if they are against the rules, because if you use it like a punishment, there are the judges and all the federation that comes to sign you with a fee. You have to pay it because it is illegal.
Like there is all these things that there is a correct way to use them.
Yes.
And there is a wrong way to use them.
The wrong way, it's harmful.
Hurting the horse.
Yes. Instead, the good way, the right way.
It's a form of communication with the horse.
There are people that don't understand that if you want to teach something to the horse, you have to be gentle. Instead, there are people that think that the only way is to be strong, and it's the wrong way.
So I wouldn't agree with that
because
sentence.
if you are a good rider,
you are not
you are not hurting the horse. Because it was like a really good rider, Eric Urdu, once teach me for a couple of days and asked me, do you prefer to be suggested to do something or to be obliged to do something? And I said suggested. And he answered, so do that with the horse. You have to suggest to do something, not to oblige.
Not to force
the horse to do something. Okay. Because if you force the horse, you obtain the exact
Then how you communicate with your horse? The horse also have a mood, motion.
Yeah, yes. The really difficult part of this sport is that you are trying to communicate
with an
animal that has his own mind.
Yes.
He has his bad days, because there are days that are not good for him, like they are not good for us. Maybe one day he's angry, maybe one day he's hungry, maybe one day he's just not feeling really good, lazy. And I don't want to say this, but it's true. Mares are female horses. Yeah, mares are a bit more difficult to understand than... It's true. It's the same with the people. And I want to say that because they have more, maybe some bad days, and there are days that are really angry, there are some days that are not feeling it, some days that are against you, and others that are against other horses.
Female horses
are more
female horses
moody,
female horses are more moody.
But they have usually a stronger character, so with stronger character you can succeed a bit more in the show jumping, because if you're in a difficult situation, she can understand how to get out of it.
Oh my God.
But they are really difficult, and I had only until now female horses. And the wrong ones, because they were all bitches.
It's true.
But they took me a lot of wins. So right ones, but a nightmare. Now maybe you used to try to to bite her horse a lot of times.
Yes, my horse was a male horse, and he is very gentle. Yes. We went riding together.
Yes.
I had this male horse who was very gentle. He had this female horse, and she was she was terrible with other horses. And we would walk together, chatting, and she would try to bite me or my horse.
And also
she
kicking.
Would just pretend she was walking, and then she would just turn around and try to bite you. Yes. She was terrible. Terrible.
In all this stable, my horse was called the shark, because when you used to pass
when you
with
walk,
in front of
she
her box.
will try to bite you.
But she hides under behind the door, and then when you walk, she comes out immediately to try to bite you.
Not all horses are like that.
No, but mine was like that. All mine horses were like that.
This is your own horse, or you
I
used to take from?
It was my own horse. Now it is not anymore my own horse.
Okay.
Now I'm riding horses around the stables of friends,
Okay.
and maybe, but I don't know. Maybe I'm buying another one this year, but I don't really know.
And your horse?
I have my own horse, but he is. I have retired him this year because he was getting old. So like they have an age between which you can, or which is suggested.
Yeah, it is really depends on the horse.
It depends on the horse, but like horses, sport horses. Begin their career when they are 4 years old.
Only 4 years.
Yes, and they stop like around from 15 to 20 years they stop.
Yeah, about 18, 20 years.
18, 20 years they stop. And my horse this year, he was 21 years old, so I retired him.
21 years old.
Yes, so I retired him. And
with the 4 years starting.
Yes, not with me, but he started at 4 years. So now like he's in a stable and I don't train him anymore. He's just like living his best life, eating grass and passing his time. But like he's not anymore a show jumper.
Okay. And
he's only getting fat.
And
after that, the horse will die.
Yes, but horses live to 35 years.
Da un po'.
Cosa facciamo dopo? Dobbiamo bere e mangiare. Dobbiamo bere e mangiare.
Vuoi bere e mangiare come c'è una pizza per la casa?
Da te? Vabbè sì, perché stessi senza macchina, no, vuoi venire a mangiare la pizza da me, però prendi la tua macchina. Ok. Ma io ho da bere a casa, troppo fare. Però la casa è sporca. Te lo dico. Devo fare domani le pizze.
Okay. In the desire to identify the enhance of the world's intangible heritage projects for certain equestrian practice. In the desire to identify and enhance the world's intangible heritage projects for certain equestrian practices are multiplying. For example, in France, since 2009, the French traditional horseship of the Cadel Neur and Sulamo is listed in the inventory of intangible cultural heritage of France. Do you think that such a process should be undertaken for Western riding?
Can I just reread it?
Because it is a long one.
Yes. They're talking about it. That last one, the 14 one.
Yes.
Heritage project for certain equestrian practices and models. For example, in France, the first original horsemanship of the Cadrenale of Salam is listed in the inventory of intangible cultural heritage of the city.
Quindi
Cioè tipo
è stata messa nelle cose che non andrebbero fatte.
Tipo no, è perché intangible cultural heritage, tipo è l'eredità culturale intangibile.
Cioè intangibile.
You didn't take the case as France. You take the case as Italy. Is there any intangible heritage related to horse riding in your country?
Wrong
like,
one.
No.
Yes.
Like if we could speak as sports.
Yes.
Yes, you have a cultural heritage. in the way you approach to the horse and the way you approach to the shows. But for non-sports, there is not, I think in this country, there is not so much respect of the horse as an animal. Like in England or Great Britain, they do not eat horses because they see horses as as an animal like of the house.
It is like a pet.
Like a pet. So they do not eat horse and
excuse me, in Italian people eat horse?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Also rabbits, if you want to know.
No, rabbit is
okay.
Yes,
but they eat horse.
We don't eat
we
horses. We do not eat horses.
But in the in Italian culture, it's
normal
to eat horses. So like
also here in Padova, it is really famous. A little city close here, like 20 minutes from 20 minutes from here.
Yes.
It's called Saonara.
Sanara.
Saonara.
Saonara. And
they have a cultural heritage of how to cook horses.
And to eat horses, obviously.
Yes.
A cultural heritage
of how to eat horses.
Not how to train them.
How to cook and eat horses.
Yeah.
So horsemanship in Italy, there is now there is not a cultural heritage like for everybody.
It is another time as an elite. It is a small amount of people that do this as a cultural heritage.
But your architecture, your Roman period is so influential. Even I am an architect. Yeah. I start history of architecture from the Roman architecture. They used
a lot
horse, and their worship is related to the war. The people
but like maybe
they eat horse.
Probably in that time they would eat horse because maybe there were animals, but like any other animal is the same apart from the pets, like the cat or the dog.
I think that's
it's different, but also like at that time the horse was a working animal, so like the horse was needed to move around and everything. So maybe it was there was more respect of the horse. Now to move around you have cars. To work on your land, like to work on your land, you have the tractors, like you have everything. So you don't really need horses.
Yes.
So horses now are like divided in horses that can be eaten because they are different.
Their works, the scope of works less.
Like eat horses that will be eaten. And horses that have that are involved in sports.
Sport horses.
Sport horses.
You can't eat sport horses because we use
for law. You cannot.
Yeah, you cannot because we use we train them, and then if they feel sick, we use medicines, and all these medicines can't be eaten by men, by humans.
So sport horses cannot be eaten. It is forbidden. But like a few people have a horse just as a pet. I mean, nobody.
Because
there are a few
place.
people that have I don't know, like I have a dog and he has a horse. It's difficult. There's not this respect of the horse as a pet.
You need space to own a horse.
Maintain a horse.
Yes.
But also, you need space. Like if you wanted to have a horse like a pet, you need space. And in Ireland there's a lot of space.
Yes.
In all Europe there is a lot of space. Here there is no space. And if you want to own a horse, or you have a really big garden, and there are a few people that has that much space, or you need to keep it in a stable, and it costs a lot of money, and there are a few people that can afford this. So
there's not a cultural heritage of horses.
No, not in the sport way. Even though it's getting bigger, the riders in the population in the years, but it is not. It does no heritage.
Okay. It is prepared for the French, so it's not necessary to answer like the French. You will answer like the Italian people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the special question I have to ask you. You already said a lot about that. The basic training you need for 6 to 8 months, and at the time you can you are training from the beginning. You are taking training from a specific horse, or you change the horses.
No, you can change.
You
the horses.
can change because
like,
you have also to understand
yes,
what is your type. There
no,
are.
però aspetta, questa
No, ma sì, ma anche dai su.
If you do not own your own horse, there are riding schools that give you a horse. But it's not always that you ride the same horse. You ride different horses because it is useful for you to learn how different horses move, how different horses act, and everything. In a second time, you understand what kind of horse you like, because there are horses that are more lazy, more moody, more active, so you understand more strong or smaller, and you understand what kind of horse you like to ride. But when you begin, you ride different horses. It is normal.
The thing is that it's also part of your training to go with different horses.
Yeah. At a certain point, the more you ride, not only of your horse, of all the horses, the more you get better at the sport.
You get better.
Because you understand a lot of new things, you also understand how to act when a horse is different. So the horse did this thing, so I did that. You have to balance the horse like the horse is balancing you.
Okay.
It is also a balance.
And other thing I want to know, I'm saying Bengali. For these 6 to 8 months, you people can understand the psychology of a horse.
I don't think so, because you have to update yourself. Like you have to understand how to understand the horse. And it is. I think it's the most.
It's a long process.
I think it's the most difficult part of it. Because literally you have to understand it through your hands, through your body, what's the mood of the horse.
Yes, there are some things that you can understand first.
Yes.
Like when you start riding, they teach you that there are some movements when dogs are happy, they wiggle their tail.
Yes.
Like horses, when they are mad, when they are angry, they have their ears that are at the back.
Okay.
So they hide their ears, or other movements that you understand what kind of mood your horse is in. But
like this is a horse that is really focused, that is happy and focused.
Because his ears
are right in front of you.
Towards to you.
Ears are...
Yeah.
Ears towards you, he's listening to you.
He's listening,
he's
or
focused.
he's focused, or maybe he's frightened by something, because he's scared. Like...
he's obeying you, try to obey you.
Yeah,
when his ear is towards you.
Yes, but also if something is scaring the horse, he's trying to understand what that thing is.
And
so he's like
focused.
yes, he's like this because he's trying to understand what that is. And
there are many different ways that horses tell you how they feel. You learn in 6-8 months. You maybe learn some things, but it takes time to understand what the horse means when it moves, when it does something. It takes time. You have to get used to seeing horses, watch how they move, if they are relaxed or not. It takes time. In these 6-8 months, maybe as you get the basic level of riding, you also understand the basic level how a horses can feel.
Okay.
So that would be.
You are not Western rider. You usually took the jumps only. But before jumping, there is a relation with you and your horse. You just go and then speed up and do the jump, and then speed up, speed down, and do the whole job down. It's a two person or two animals. If we are animals also, how the two psychology go together. You walk, you also walk.
When you train before.
Okay.
So like before you begin jumping, you have to train, because there are some things you have to learn before you begin jumping, like how to speed up or speed down, how to turn. You have to, there's a word in Italian, I'm not sure how you would say it in English, a binomio.
It's like a couple.
It's like a couple.
You have to become a couple.
You have to become a couple with your horse.
You have to understand the horse, and the horse...
have to understand you.
Yes, but of course the first move you have to do it yourself. And then you understand the bird, like, I don't know, my horse hated a lot of things. One of them was if when I was on the jump, so in the flying part,
yes,
when we were flying, I couldn't press her chest with my legs, because she hated that.
Okay.
She would become very angry.
Yes, and that was a problem. And so you have to understand what things doesn't work with the torso.
It is also important, like when you say you have to be a couple, it is also because like horses are animals that can be very good in a relationship with a person. Like they have a very good relationship with people. They are animals that can be taught what to do. You can teach them different things and different disciplines. So the horse can help you, like when you are doing show jumping or any other kind of disciplines. The horse will think it's by itself. So like you have to help him when he or she doesn't understand, is scared, is moody, is lazy. But at the same time, when the horse is a good horse, if you as a rider have a difficulty, the horse will help you.
Oh my
so
God.
It's
a both way working.
Yes.
Yeah. You are walking to the
you
same
can be
direction.
working together or against each other.
And it's
happened against each other?
Yes, a lot of times. Our instructor used to tell us if a horse loses his mind, you can work on it. But if the rider loses his mind, it's better if you try the next day. Because we are able to fix the horse, understand what's wrong with the horse. We are able to try to understand, okay, he's having a bad day, that's fine, we sort it out. But if you are having a bad day and you are getting angry and angry and angry against the horse, he doesn't know what to do, because he doesn't know you're angry for something. So it's better if you calm down
and
far from the horse and try the next day.
Okay, now I can understand.
Yeah. It's really a mental sport, lot of mental sport.
Yes.
And then also counts the physical part, but I think it's more mental. The people that win in show jumping are people that has a strong mind and a really chill mind, really isolated mind, really focused. You have to be focused and not emotive. You you have to be
able to control your emotions.
Your emotions,
because also like horses can like
feel.
You can feel your
because
emotions.
if you are a bit stressed,
if you are stressed,
okay. Horse can feel your emotions.
Yes, but like if you are stressed.
This is why I told you about Avatar. It's the same exact thing because you are connected. Yes,
because, like,
you are connected.
Yes, explain it like
if
you are
if
stressed. When you act, you are a
more
bit
rigid.
you are it's not rigid, but like you're not chill. You're not doing it like when you are stressed. You are tight. You maybe and the horse can feel that you are tight, and the horse doesn't understand.
And
so the horse gets scared.
Yes, because he says so he's stressed, so he have to be stressed because he's stressed.
Because if the person that is with me is stressed, I have to be stressed.
Oh.
If the person that is with me is scared, maybe I should be scared. But if the person that is with me is chill, I am chill.
Oh, then when you were becoming both
a couple.
And the thing is, if you are not at a really high level or maybe a medium high level, if the horse is scared, usually if you are base level, you are frightened because he has his own mind. You don't know what to do. The horse is doing everything on his own.
Also because
a lot of massacre that happened.
Horses are something that can be useful. Is that horses in nature they are
they are not predators.
They are like there's the lion that is a predator. Horses are not predators. They eat grass. They live together, so they don't like go out and find an animal to kill or something. So with
they are good at running away.
So like we as humans, we can get the horse and be stronger over the horse so that the horse can work with you. But in nature, horses would be very frightened animals. They would run away. They are not predators. How was teach it?
Now I can understand.
Okay, so like for the
you have to command on horse, but it's so gently.
Yeah.
Yes, but like horses are animals that you can do this. But like with a lion, that is a very strong animal that has a very strong character. It's you can't do it. Like it's not in the circus that happens. Horses are animals that can have a good relationship with human beings, and that is why also they can feel what you feel because they are a bit. They depend on you because they are like you. They know that you give them food, that you work with them, so they look for you. They are connected with people, and you can do this. But like other wild animals, it's not possible.
There's also this part of the problem of this old world that the thing that people don't understand is that horses are like people, have their own characters, have their own days good and days bad, and also
things that they like and things that they don't like.
The horses they like and horses they don't. They have sympathies for horses and not for the others. They hate maybe a couple of horses on this table and love two others. They love some people and hate others. And every horse is really different also at a level of sensibility. So maybe one horse feels this and others can feel this.
Okay.
They're very sensible and they're different.
They are very sensible, but they are really different one from another.
If I have more question, I will write in WhatsApp. You will answer. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And